I still think it's going to be Lane Kiffin, at the end of the day. To me, he's the guy who honestly is probably their safest option. And that may kind of blow people's minds if, what they had thought about Lane Kiffin in the past. But he has done a really good job at FAU. He's done a very, very good job in the SEC West. And I think you got a really good play caller, really sharp offensive mind who knows how to attack defenses. I think what we've seen is he's really kind of grown and kind of maybe a pun, but he's kind of found his lane on social media and has found his voice and some of those things. And I'm not saying that's going to be the big difference in whether he wins games or not, but I think that helps in terms of, I think it helps with the brand, helps with the recruiting. I think it helps certainly with maybe assures people who maybe were a little unsure of how Lane would do. And I think those things, bode well. I think John Cohen coming in as the AD, I think that I think probably would work for Lane because he is a guy who had Mike Leach as his coach and gave Mike Leach a lot of freedom and flexibility. And ultimately, I think that relationship, I think for Lane, I think he would see it. And for people who go, well, why would Lane leave Ole Miss? Well, the reality is, before Brian Harsin, the last two coaches who coached at Auburn, one won a national title and the other came within a play from winning a national title. And no one's come close to that at Ole Miss. Beyond Lane, if somehow it doesn't work out in that direction, I mean, Hugh Freeze to me is a really, really good coach. I mean, what he's done at Liberty, I mean, people forget they lost their starting quarterback early in the year. They're going to win in games in Arkansas against, in Fayetteville. I mean, he's an excellent coach. I think if he got that job, and again, Hugh Freeze definitely has some baggage. People know that, but I think he is comfortable winning in the SEC. I think he knows what it takes to win big in the SEC. He's beaten Nick Saban not once, but multiple times. And look, I think if he was the head coach at Auburn, I think he'd have him as a top 15 team and maybe even better than that. So I think to me, those are the two most viable options. But I think really, everything I've heard makes me think it's going to be Lane Kiffin.